here you go. And my son's gonna go, so I gotta book in. And then my son-in-law may come, and then I gotta book in. So I make 3, and then my friend makes 6. So I figured, well, and that's what it was like. I wanted to find out whether or not it's is whether we're all going to vote or not. I mean, if we're 15, you can do anything other than vote. That's right. And that's where, yeah, so I've got the whole story. I've already put it in. There's 3 more that I got. Yeah, yeah. So they're all, I'm like,
I asked to give this an invocation because I remember my daddy as I grew up. I remember my granddad who I was named after. And I just wanted to wish all the fathers of the room. And I wanted each of you to know how much it's meant to me as a father and part of this organization. You guys are and are so giving of your hearts and comments that you deserve a thank you. God, thank you. You have to bow your heads, please. Our Father in heaven, you have invited us to pray to you as our Father, that we may pray boldly and confidently to you. We pray for fathers. Give them wisdom. Give them patience. Give them the ability to love in a way that reflects your love. We pray for children. Give them guidance. Give them a spirit of obedience. Give them warmth, comfort, and peace in their Father's homes. We pray for the fatherless and those who struggle in their families. Be their father when earthly fathers fail. Show them love and guidance and help them to know a father's love through your love, providence, and care. Use our Rotarian friends and their families to encourage and guide, nurture and instruct, and bless all fathers and their families with your peace. Through Jesus Christ, the Lord. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Bruce. Our song leader today is Sidney Kane.
Thank you. That's very nice. What did you do, America the Beautiful? It's one of my favorites, and so I have the 20 years to it. Oh, beautiful forestation skies, forever waves of grain, for purple mountains majesty, of the fruitless rain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Hey, you're gorgeous voices. We have two really gorgeous voices in here. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Russ Wayne.
Hey everybody, Past President Russ Wayne here. Love to see all you guys. Thanks for letting me be of service, Katie.
Anytime, you got the mic.
I do have the mic.
And we're live on Facebook. Marie, it's nice to have you with us today. Start the day with a fun today.
Well, it doesn't that sound exciting? And who are you gonna find?
How about Ginger Anderson?
Ginger Anderson, where are you sitting?
Is she?
Oh, there she is, way over there. I saw the Golden Knights jersey.
Did you see it on TV last night?
You were on TV?
I understand she was front and center.
Yeah, I was pretty close to the action. Is that what I'm getting fined for?
That's what you're getting fined for. First of all, it's also Ginger's birthday. So happy birthday, and thank you for your contribution to the club.
I am happy to make that contribution.
And how much did that cost her? Don't let me do this.
Well, you know what, how much do you suppose those tickets were last night? I understand they were really, really good tickets.
They were really, really good tickets. They were guilty as charged.
What do you think, Russ?
Well, because it's one of your last meetings, Katie, I think I ought to set some kind of new precedence moving forward. And since Ginger is about president, and they did spend a hell of a lot of money on those tickets going to, but you guys were like center ice, right? Real low?
No. We were down on the corner on the glass.
On the glass is what she just said, right? So I'm thinking, you're president, Katie, I'll leave it up to you.
What do you think, 1,500?
I'm making more. She wants to pay more.
More? 2? 3? Keep talking.
Wow, that's a great way to start off the meeting. Raise some money for the foundation.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any international visitors today? I didn't see any. Do we have visiting Rotarians today?
Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce Mijan Lombardi. She is with G-Bank. She is a visiting Rotarian from Las Vegas.
Nice to have you here.
Any other visitors?
I don't see any hands. Back and back.
Behind me. Oh, okay. Oh, visiting Rotarian. Okay. Visiting Rotarian back there? No? I thought I saw Tom Novotny, but.
He left.
Oh, he left. Okay. All right. Well, then you're up. Larry, now you're up.
Guest of Rotarians.
Okay. I'm gonna do it quick. Can't trot across the room here. Hello, fellow Rotarians. I want to introduce Bill Kotecki. He's become a recent friend of mine. He moved from Ohio, and he's never been to a Rotary meeting before in his life. So I insist that he comes. And he's also the owner of the Nevada Senior Guide, which many of you may have seen the publication, primarily focused on senior housing and senior health. Bill Kotecki.
Welcome. How about back over here? Any other guests? Okay, we have another one. And you want to be going back and forth. It's your steps.
Yes, it's right, your exercise across the room. So I have a couple of visitors, and one of them is a return visitor. This is Bailey. And she's with Simple Switch. And then I have a guest here, Taylor Koki. She's with D1 Fitness. It's a gym over in the Galleria Mall.
Anybody up? We got a man up way over here. Back and forth. I got long legs. I can make that.
I would like to introduce Shanice Stevens, Junior Achievements Education Director.
Well, anybody else? Okay.
Okay, I'll take a minute and introduce the head table. We have our guest speaker, Tina Slavic, who will be introducing our fully in a few minutes. Barry Goldstein. We have Adriana Connolly, past President Steve Casey, and our public relations board director, Tina Bishop. Thank you. Okay, we have some announcements today. Jerry Sims isn't here, I don't believe, to do a wrap up of the highway cleanup and the brunch. Tony, where are you? You want to talk about that? Good afternoon. We had 17 people for our last hour. It was amazing. And a special part of it was Tom Mackey was there with his 3 young kids. So it was very cool. We had a blast. And as always, Jerry Simmons and David Squire did a great job. Smoked salmon and yummies. The schedule for next Rotary year is already embedded on the calendar, so try to make it one of the times. It's great. Thanks, Tony. Is Barbara Castro here?
Barbara Castro. She is here.
I made it back from Mexico. So I just wanted to talk about the super bill for a second. Kirk Alexander really pitched me on this. He didn't have to do much pitching, but he did tell me how great the experience would be if I did something like this. And to say that he was right is just an understatement. It was probably the best experience I've ever been able to experience doing something like this. To go to Mexico and see these people, they were locals there, there to build this house. There were Rotarians, 30 on the bus that we went down there. We got there at 9 a.m., started the build. But also there was Corazon, they were already there. And they've been doing this since 1974. They've been doing this for a really long time. And the experience was just amazing. The family, if you guys have your will, you can take a look right now. That's the family that got this home. But not only did they, this is their home, they earned this home. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think Kirk Alexander could express a little bit more about how everything works, but they actually had to earn their house. They have to do community service hours to earn this house. The kids have to go to school daily. They don't just get a house. They have to go to drastic measures to apply. There's a process they have to do. They were so welcoming. They were so friendly. They fed us tamales and beans. And the highlight, I think, of my time there was the little girl. You guys don't see it on this on the wheel, but if you wanted to see it, just come let me know. I have it on my phone. She's actually walking into her home for the first time. And to see that was just, it was amazing to capture that. So if you guys can ever do it, I think they're going to do another build sometime in April. There may be one before that. Please do, especially the newer members. If you wanted to really experience something, but I believe for me, it's one of the best community service things that I've ever been able to do. Please do it. And if you have any other questions, if I don't have the answers, I will get them for you. But yeah, it's amazing. So I wanted to also thank really quick Rotary. I mean, Rotary, the reason why I became a part of this organization is all the great things we get to do for our community, right? But not only do we get to do things for our community, but we get to go out of our comfort zone and do things for other people in other countries. So yeah, so thanks guys.
If you'll take the microphone, is this working?
Yes.
Okay. Would you take the microphone to Stu?
Stu,
I'm here.
okay, right away, sir.
So I think it's no secret that the Clark County School District does a little bit less a terrific job. But there is an institution here in town, the Children's Museum, that I just find fascinating because it's not only educational focused, it's elective. You don't have to go there. The parents bring their kids, the kids come there and they really make a difference. And I hope we can get more involved with them. We do have a specific request to provide some volunteers on June 24th, a Saturday, starting at 5:30, where they're hosting a special reception for their members and their children with ice cream. And they promise that we'll be able to get some of that as well. So the parking is great. I think there's a sheet in the green book looking for somewhere between 10 and 20 people to be able to do that. And it's not only an opportunity to serve this institution, we'll get a lot of visibility for Rotary there. So it's a way of exposing the community to the good things we do. I hope people will sign up.
Thank you, Stu. And talking about good visibility, I think on your tables you have a copy of the loop from West Care, and there's a big spread in there on Rotary. And we're happy that Leo's here today. to join us. Thank you for that. John Williams.
Oh, wheelchair man.
We have 4 more days, but it, night dark. I think we need 40 more people to be sold out. We have 8 professional irritators. We have Mark from the Go Knights. This is his project. He will be there because game 7, as you know, is not. And so if you wanted to have one hell of a night, Monday's dark. And, one more thing, my big truck, it's been broken into 2 times. And I'm looking for somewhere to store my box truck. I carry $40,000 a week. So if anybody has a garage or field or something that they can't get to take my batteries, like diesel, you have to.
Thank you, John. Nikki Bates.
Hello, Nikki.
Good afternoon, everyone. Those of you who've been in the club for a while we used to have a partnership with the Utah Shakespeare Festival. As a board of governors member and part of the chair of the education committee for the Utah Shakespeare Festival, I would like to reinvigorate that. And the way to do that is to give you $10 off, right? So they have provided us with a code. It's LB, and I'll give this information to Sean as well. LB Rotary 23, and that will give you $10 off for any play that you buy a ticket for with the Utah Shakespeare Festival. But those of you all who have been around also remember past President Michael Gordon. He and I and Tony and about 6 of us from the club will be going down to Cedar City on July 7th and 8th. And they are actually want to host a dinner for us. Any of you that have been to Duck Creek, you've driven 14, you've seen Milt's Steakhouse. Milt's Steakhouse is offering a free steak dinner for about 22 of us. Again, right now, that is Saturday, July 8th at 5 p.m. Tony and I. So the $10 off is available for you as a Rotary member whenever. But if you would like to go on July 8th for the dinner, please there's about 10 spots. You would need to let Tony and I know so that we can make sure we reserve those spots for you. It'd be great to interact with Michael and his wife and Samuel. It'd be great to see them again as well. So there's plenty of opportunity there. But let us know about July 8th, first come, first served, for about 10 more spots. And come have fun at the Utah Shakespeare Festival.
Thanks, Nikki. Hi, sir. Where's Bob? Behind you.
President Katie, it's time again, believe it or not, for the Wetzel Awards. This is where we go to the base and honor our junior enlisted personnel. Mark your calendars for the date. It's July 13th. That's coming up, and we're not having a meeting on July 6th. So if you'll mark your calendars for the next 2 weeks, if you'll sign up in the green book. July 13th, we will be at the base at 2:30. Our program will start at 3 o'clock for approximately 30 to 45 minutes. It may be a new auditorium where we're going to be meeting because we had such a fabulous turnout last time, but I'll keep you posted on that. We'll be meeting up with the Wetzel family, and we're expecting the event to last about 30 to 45 minutes. So that's it. Just please be aware that you need to have, in order to get base access with the bus, you will need a driver's license from Nevada that has the picture of the state outlined on it, or you need a military ID card or an out-of-state driver's license. That will get you on the bus. And they will be collecting your driver's licenses to make sure that you can gain entry. So please sign up in the green book. We need to do that for the next 2 weeks. There is some sense of urgency here since we don't have a meeting on July 6th. Thank you, President.
Thanks, Bob. Mike Ballard.
Yes, we're throwing a party.
Yay.
2 weeks at my house. So come on, we need everybody to sign in. Not everybody signed up right now. The signups are a little low. We want to make sure we get a good accurate count. We're gonna have good food and a lot of fun. And we're gonna throw you out.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the second time, by the way, you know,
Second
President
time.
Katie's served this year for her 100th anniversary. She's done an amazing job. Let's all really support her and show up for that event. I mean, it's big, right? It's big. Anybody that does this twice is a little crazy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I will plead to that.
I think we just told you that you were gonna do it,
I
right?
think you did. I was out of town when that decision was made. Is Antoinette Monroe here?
No.
Okay.
Like someone's making her.
Who's making the announcement? Okay. Larry, back in the back.
All right, Larry, make it quick.
All right, here we go. Looking forward to everybody coming out for the annual Alpine picnic on July 22nd. It's going to be $10 adults, $5 children. For those who are strong and brave and silly like I was last year, the hike starts at 8:45. Fun will be at 12. Potluck, look at the green book for what you want to bring and put it in there, and hope to see everybody over there.
Larry?
Yeah, Tom Thomas knows the shortcut way up to the top of the Mount Charleston Peak, if anybody's interested in that.
Are you leading the hike?
We are gonna do a hike. I don't think we're gonna do that hike, but, you know,
That's
we
straight
are,
up,
we are gonna do it.
and you're gonna lead it.
Yeah, I think I will again.
Okay.
With my friend Rosalie, she's gonna be the co-chair.
Okay.
Yep.
Jim Tucker.
Past President Jim Tucker, all right.
You guys, you got a new roster coming out in July. So we need to have all your current information in it. And if you would like to have a new picture taken of the month, when you have your current roster doesn't look that good, I'll send you pictures this week, just over here by the flag, and I'll do it then. And I will be doing them again next week also.
Great. Do we have a deadline for the roster? Okay, I need to get a history now. Next week will be our last official meeting of the year. So sad.
You look like you're really sad.
Yeah, I know, wipe the smile off my face. Okay. And we're having prime rib to celebrate, so don't miss it. And Tom Thomas, if you want to come up, we have a presentation today, and Will Abbott, the junior achievement.
Round up. Yeah.
Fellow Rotarians, it's a pleasure for Leslie and me to do our monthly charitable donation to a wonderful organization. Really, this organization doesn't need any explanation for those of us in this room because we're aware of the wonderful work they're doing to provide financial literacy to children. And if you ever question whether or not we need more financial literacy, pull your kids aside and ask them how much it will cost them to buy something with a credit card making minimum payments for a year. And see the surprise on their face when they realize how much it actually costs them. You just make minimum payments. But Junior Achievement is a wonderful program, a wonderful organization that provides financial literacy for a number of different programs. So this is a $3,000 check that goes to Junior Achievement on behalf of the greatest Rotary Club in the world.
I can follow that, that was amazing. On behalf of the over 20,000 kids that we serve every single year, thank you. Thank you so much. And,
Tom and Leslie Thomas have donated $3,000 a month this year to go to community organizations in the name of Rotary. Continuing generosity. And it's things like this that make us the greatest Rotary Club and the work that people do. So thank you all for the work that you do. I'd like to thank everybody that helped set up the meeting today. Kathy Mahan and Jimmy Navarro for setting up. Deb Howard and Jimmy Navarro again for being greeters. Bob Heiser for selling tickets. Our scribe today, Jason Federico, stepped up at the last minute to do that. I appreciate it. Past President Jim Tucker for always taking our pictures. And Austin Wyrick for doing our audio visual. And Michael Williams and Larry Cohn for picking up after the meeting today. Thank you all. And I think we have a few minutes for fellowship before we introduce the speaker into the room. Thank you. I said before we do the drawing, oh, that's me.
A master's degree in healthcare administration and management and a Bachelor of Science in Health and Wellness. She is sincerely proud and grateful to help Nevadans see and heal lives through the Nevada Donor Network. Please give a warm welcome to Tina Slott.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be in this audience. I don't know if I recognize any faces from our other social events, so this is a wonderful opportunity for us. My presentation is going to be short, sweet, and to the point. But you're so excited. I love it. Enthusiasm. So please, don't hesitate to ask questions. If I say something that doesn't make sense or if you want clarification, we have plenty of swag items on the table. I only put a few out for now because I didn't want to crowd the table, but please take as much as you want. Take the brochures. If you feel that this organization can benefit from having us come and present to them as well, we would love to do that. There is no audience too small. There's no audience too big. So please just keep that in mind if it's something of interest to you.
Going down should advance it.
Which one am I doing? We'll figure it out. Okay. Nevada Donor Network. We are a nonprofit organization. We serve the whole state of Nevada, but not only do we serve Nevadans, we serve the whole entire country. We do transplantation for organ, eye, and tissue donation. We do medical research as well. The state of Nevada has about 3 million people. Any idea how many people are registered in the state of Nevada as a registered donor? Take a wild guess. Wow, no, it's way higher. Higher. I feel like the price is right. Come on, get the number up higher. It's actually 1.6 million. So, yeah, congratulations to that. Million registered donors. Yeah, so that's more than 50%. I believe it's about 62% of Nevadans are registered donors. The national average is 52%. So kudos to all of you Nevadans who are registered donors. There's no fear, there's no shame if you're not a registered donor. I know everybody likes to pull out their license, look for that part. But don't worry, we don't judge, we don't go around looking for it. But one thing to keep in mind, if you do register to be a donor online, you will not have the heart on your license. So yes, there is a little catch there. So you still can be a registered donor without the heart on your license. And when you register online, you get to customize your donation. There's a little text box where you can specify what you would like to donate. You can even put a little special message in there. So on my registry, I have a little saying, a little quote that's going to be handed off to my recipients. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to register online. You can go to registerme.org, but we'll get into that later on. All right, so how am I using this clicker? Which one is it?
Down is forward.
Down is forward.
No.
Or not?
No.
Do I have it upside down?
Well, just go ahead and give your spiel.
All right, we'll figure it out. Okay, so the biggest thing that we love to do is community involvement, which is what we're doing here today. All of you have seen that the Vegas Golden Knights have won the championship. Did you know this? Nevada Donor Network is often advertised there. Down is forward. All right. Okay, we got it. So the Vegas Golden Knights are one of our biggest supporters, and they often showcase us at their games. They call it Hero of the Game, where they showcase one of our donor families and one of our donor recipients. So again, a beautiful partnership that you wouldn't normally think of as a community partner partnering with sports teams. Okay. We have a saying that we like to use. We are Nevadans, proud Nevadans, because We serve the whole state of Nevada. We do have an office in the Reno area, so the whole state is covered. The north part of the state is occupied by other neighboring states, like Utah and California, who we have a little bit of a partnership with as well. Here are the numbers for the month of May. In Nevada, there are 639 Nevadans on the transplant list. Nationwide, there's a total of 103,000 United States residents on the transplant list. Something to keep in mind with that number for Nevada, the 639, that is only Nevadans who need a kidney. Because only kidney recipients can be in Nevada, because all other transplants take place outside of the state. So currently, we do not have a transplant center. We are working with UMC to bring the transplant center here so we can start serving all of the Nevadans' needs. So currently, if you need a lung transplant, a heart transplant, liver transplant, you have to go out of state. One thing that is amazing about our organization is that we are the #1 organ recovering organization in the country, which is awesome because of all the Nevadans who agree to be donors. But unfortunately, majority of our organs are going outside of the state and servicing other people. But to that note, some of those people are Nevadans, they just had to relocate out of state. So this is something that we are working towards. We're hoping to have that transplant center here in the next 2 years. Anybody know anyone on the transplant wait list? Or anybody who has received an organ? No. Okay. So just keep that in mind when you see these numbers that 639 is only for kidneys. So any other organ that is needed, unfortunately, the Nevadans have to go out of state. Every 9 minutes, someone's name is added to the transplant list. 17 people die every day waiting for a life-saving organ. The good thing is this number has definitely improved. Last year, it was around 22 people died every day. So there are improvements because more and more people are becoming registered donors. So there's our number, 1,619,000 Nevadans are registered donors. So 1.6 million, more than 50% of the state. You can register at registerme.org. Nevada Donor Network, we have our own website, nvdonor.org. And if you have an iPhone, you can go into your health app on your iPhone, and the majority of you are familiar with registering at the DMV. Did anybody check the box at the DMV to be a registered donor? That's how you get the heart on your license. So how can you help? By having us come and speaking today, you are helping because you are getting educated. So then what happens? You share the information that you learned today with your colleagues, your families. You start having those open communications about donation. Just because you check the box to be a registered donor doesn't mean your family knows your wishes. So this is something that we encourage people to do, is to have those open conversations with their family, with their loved ones, so everybody knows what your end of life wishes are. We want to be more involved in the community. My colleague Adriana is here with me today. She works on the multicultural side. So we are always looking for new churches to partner with, different organizations, different chambers, any type of organization. It doesn't matter the size. It can be, like I said, party of 1, party of 1,000. It doesn't matter. We will come and speak to you. We will educate you. We are not here to change your registration. If you want to decide to be a donor after today's presentation, wonderful, we encourage it. We just want to make sure everybody has the proper knowledge and are well educated on what the organization does and what organ donation really does mean. So some of our community partners, we have a partnership with every single hospital down here in Las Vegas. I believe there's 11 hospitals that we partner with, which is incredible. We also partner with the coroner's office and funeral homes, schools.
We are now into the school system, which is amazing, in the Boys and Girls Club. This is new this year. And of course, the DMV. And law enforcement. We are so fortunate for our first responders. They are very supportive of us. During the month of April, it's National Donate Life Month. And you'll see that they wear the Donate Life pins on their uniforms and they put the Donate Life stickers on their vehicles. So the donation process. We have different ways of approaching family. So if your loved one is in the hospital and they are not going to survive their illness or injury, we actually do have staff on hand who talk to families directly in the hospital. And if your loved one passes outside of the hospital, we have a team of people who talk to them over the phone. So there's different ways that we can communicate with the family. And if they do agree for donation, then there's another process in place and another team of people that will work with them. Any family that does agree to donation will be enrolled into our aftercare program. And the aftercare program is a 13-month program where you get direct contact and support. You can participate in family events. You get invited to a donor remembrance ceremony. It's a banquet that we hold in the beginning of the year to celebrate all of our families who have donated in the previous year. You have volunteer opportunities to come with us to do events and to do public speaking. We are always looking for families to, what we like to say is connect to purpose. So families who can talk about their experience with their with donation, talk about their loved one and how their loved one saved and healed lives. So how many lives can one person save with organ donation? Take a wild guess. Just organs. Just think about your organs. 6. Close. 8. And then I put 8 plus because your liver can be cut in 2. Yes. Your kidneys and your liver can also be part of what we call living donation. So you can live with 1 kidney. So if you are of good health and you are a match to someone in need, you can donate your kidney and be a living donor. Same thing with your liver. If your liver matches someone who is in need, they can cut a piece of your liver and give it to the person and you become a living donor. Something new, this is probably in the past 2 or 3 years where they started doing the liver transplants for living donors. So how many lives can one person save with tissue donation? This is the one that makes people a little bit uncomfortable because tissue donation does include skin, bone, muscles, veins, heart valves, corneas. We say eye, but really it's not your eyeball. It is just your cornea, which is equivalent to a contact lens. That is all it is. It's just a contact lens. So how many lives can be saved with tissue donation? 12, anything more, anything higher? 15? 75 plus. Yes, 75 plus. So one person who is an organ and tissue donor could potentially save 100 lives. So it's amazing what one person, one individual can do to save and heal lives of 100 other people. Think about the impact that you could have in the future of saving lives. So our aftercare program, which we touched base on, we provide our services for 13 months. Families have the option to opt out. Families do not have to enroll. It's just a courtesy that we do offer to them. And we check in with the family regularly. So after 1 week of donation, after a month of donation, even if the loved one is a donor and for whatever reason we were not able to do recovery, the family can still enroll in our aftercare program because we consider their loved one as a donor in spirit. It's important to have those conversations with your families. Is it something that you talk about at the dinner table? Probably not. But it's something that it's good to talk about. so many times that people make their pre-arrangements for end-of-life decisions, you know, what type of service they want to have, where they want their final resting place to be, but nobody really talks about what they want done with their bodies. So we can just add a little bit more of that conversation and start getting comfortable talking about it. It is not comfortable, but that is why we are here to help with those conversations and to help with those questions. This is Courtney Kaplan. She is one of our donor moms. Her son, Mikey, passed away 1 week before graduation from a motorcycle accident. And he was a donor. About a month prior to his accident, he went to the DMV, got his license, and checked the box to be a donor. And unfortunately, he did not make it to graduation, but he was able to save 5 lives with his organ donation. So Courtney is one of our donor moms who speaks out to the community regularly. She is so passionate and so caring and loving to share her story. It helps her grieve. So if anybody is interested in connecting with Courtney, reach out to me and I can connect you with her because it does help the healing process. Plus, she really enjoys talking about it. She's for us, we like to refer to her as like one of our donor heroes. She does make a positive impact on families. There is my contact information, tslavic@mvdonor.org, and my phone number. That is my cell phone number. I am from upstate New York. I can't get rid of that 607 yet. I think this is part of my identity. But feel free to call, text, email any hour of the day. It doesn't matter if you're in conversation with a friend and you guys have this debate going on myths and misconceptions. Reach out to me. I'll settle the debate and hopefully you will win the conversation. Swag items on the table, take as much as you want. We have more. And if you want items for your organization, brochures, let us know. We will gladly deliver them to you. Questions? I love it.
We have one right here.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 questions. Actually, one is, what's the time period between a person dying and their organs still being usable for a donor?
Okay, great question. The time frame. Have any of you recently or in the past few years had a phone call from the Nevada Donoring Network for a loved one who has passed? We have to make those phone calls within 24 hours. So tissue recovery has to happen within 24 hours of death. Organ recovery has to happen in the hospital with a ventilated patient. So those myths of I'm not going to put the heart on my license because the first responders are not going to save my life, that is absolutely not true. You have to be in the hospital, in the operating room on a vent for your organs to be recovered.
The second question is, I have already pledged myself as a donor. I'm 93 years old. At what stage is there a cutoff?
I love that question. I love it. So you may be the record for the oldest organ donor. Right now, the record is 96 years old. Is the oldest organ donor. His name is Cecil, and he's from Arizona. So stick around a few more years. Okay, so what's the age limit? There is no age limit for organ donation. You could be as young as 6 pounds and be an organ donor, and you could be as old as 106 and be an organ donor.
How do they charge for like my parts after I'm done? Like, do they, at what point do they start charging the patients? The recovery and all that stuff?
I love the way how you phrase that question. That is perfect.
Tell them the truth.
I will tell you the absolute truth. Do you work in the auto business, Lady Jim? That's what my dad would say. Okay, so how do you charge for parts? Here is the truth. You are responsible for your medical bills up until the time of death. Once death is declared, Nevada Donor Network takes over all billing. Therefore, there is no extra charges to the family for your recovery of your organs. So Nevada Donor Network gets reimbursed through CMS, just like a hospital does. We are considered a hospital in our services, so we have the same billing process that hospitals do.
They charge the receiver, though, that's what I was asking.
The receiver has to have insurance or has to have the funding to support the medical bills for the transplant. So yes, insurance companies are involved. I don't have a dollar figure for you on that one. Yes.
Hi, I'm a retired ophthalmologist, and I was wondering how many corneal transplants do you do in Nevada?
Okay, great question. How many cornea transplants do we do in Nevada? Thousands.
Wow.
Yes. 64,000? We did 64,000 last year. So what does that mean? 64,000 Nevadans donated their corneas. That's an amazing number. Here's what else is amazing about that number. Not only do we serve all of Nevada, all of the United States, but cornea donation, we have partnerships in other countries. Israel, Kenya, Germany, Argentina, Chile, and a few others, Australia. So the Nevadans are heroes all across the world because Nevadans are giving their corneas to other countries as well and bringing sight to people. So congratulations, Nevadans.
I was shocked when you said 1.6 million donors out of 3 million.
Yes.
Because I assume that most of those are adults, and that's not necessarily the 3 million are. So the percentage seems higher.
It's yes, it's all from the age of 18 and up.
That's an amazing number.
Yeah.
My question is, like, if I needed a heart transplant and you don't do heart transplants in Nevada, do I have to move out of state to be ready to receive one?
Yes, you do. So that is one of the challenges that we face right now, is that if you do need a heart transplant, do you have the means to relocate to Arizona or California, because those are the two major heart transplant areas, and wait? So do you have family support out of state? Because you have to have a 24/7 caregiver out of state. You have to be monitored by somebody 24/7. So these are challenges that Nevadans face, and this is why we are working so hard to bring that transplant center here to Nevada. Great question. Yes.
Just to piggyback on that, because I have a little question with that. So Renee's been asking me for where my kid live with, right? So we're both here in Nevada, so that means that if he gets to this, he had to travel out of state to go through the process.
For the liver?
Yeah.
We do have the ability to do liver, but majority of them are done out of state right now. But we actually have done a couple here in state.
So you have to travel.
Yes. But you too, you could be brothers, you could be mother, daughter, you may not be an exact match. It's very common that family members are not an exact match. The irony is sometimes it's opposite genders, different races, different ethnic backgrounds, and those are the perfect matches. So there's a whole process in place to determine who your perfect match is, and sometimes it is not your family member.
So now, when you need an organ and you have to go out of town, do you stay here because they put you on a waiting list? So you stay in Nevada until they call you and then you go, or you go over there and wait?
No, you actually relocate first. You get on the transplant list out of state. Yes. Yes. If it's for something other than a kidney, yes, unfortunately.
Well, past President Jim Cole will take a break from watching the US Open to ask you.
Oh, fantastic. Let's just be open going.
That's good. I know when you players will be now our assistant, right?
Nice, very nice. Thank you for keeping us updated.
So could you explain just the general parameters of how people are matched for the organs?
There's a whole process in place. It's called serologies, and they just take blood samples and they look for identification markers. We actually have a lab on our campus, so we are able to get those results within hours, whereas other locations don't have a lab on campus, and it takes them maybe a couple of days to get those results, but it's an extensive process for finding the matches.
So, first of all, thank you for presenting to us
You're
today.
very welcome.
Secondly, on one of your slides, I noticed, well, you had kidney, and then you had kidney, pancreas, and then you had pancreas. What was that? What was the distinction?
So there are some cases where somebody needs both. So the recipient doesn't just need the kidney and doesn't just need the pancreas, they actually need both combined. And that usually has to come from one donor, and that is a very hard match to find. And same thing with the heart lung, it has to come from the same donor, and that's why there's only 36 on there. Great question, thank you for asking.
So we only do a limited number of transplants based on the organ. What would be the next one that is financially feasible to make happen?
In Nevada, the next one is going to be liver and pancreas. And then we'll see.
What does it take to make that happen? Is it already in process?
We are in process of bringing the transplant center here. The biggest obstacle right now is funding. It's a $35 million funding project. We are very fortunate that the former governor, Sisolak, he was very supportive of this, and he got a couple of bills passed. And now Governor Lombardo, they're making it happen at the state level to bring the funding into Nevada to make this happen. Great question.
Do you, if you have to go out of state, do you have to establish residency there?
You just have to be a resident there. You don't have to necessarily establish residency. You just have to live there. So if you have a sibling or a coworker, a family friend, and you live with them, just as long as you have their address, you're good.
I may be wrong on this, but I thought people could have their pancreases taken out and still live without problems. Am I not based on that?
I don't recall you being able to live without your pancreas, your spleen, and your appendix. I see it. I see a hand in the back, on to the right. Your other right.
One at a time, I got this.
I got this. I'm a donor, and I crashed in a plane in Tucson, Mississippi.
Okay.
What happens?
It depends.
On what?
Did you survive the crash?
I died.
Okay. Here we go. If you, for lack of better words, are dead on arrival, you cannot donate your organs because you have to be in the hospital on event. However, you can still donate your tissue. You have 24 hours from the time of death to donate your tissue.
So to take that, what if, what if he is alive and he's in the hospital? How does the hospital in Mississippi know that he's a donor?
We look at the donor registry. We have a system in place where we can look up the patient's name and their date of birth, and it will show up if they are a registered donor or
And
not.
every hospital has access to it.
Yes.
Well, what happens every time somebody dies?
Pardon?
Do they check this every time somebody dies?
Yes, we do in the state of Nevada. We do. I can't say the same for other states, but we have a team of people. Every single death in the state of Nevada is called into us, and we track the registry on every single death.
So is there any long-term effects for a living donor as far as somebody donates a kidney? Do they have to be concerned about long-term health?
The only issue that a living donor has is that their recovery takes much longer. So the irony is the recipient is healed the next day within 24 hours. They're up and at 'em like nothing ever happened. Somebody who receives a liver transplant or a kidney transplant, sometimes they're jaundiced at first because they're so sick. As soon as they get that transplant, the jaundice is gone within 24 hours. Whereas the donor, it takes a little bit longer for them to recover and for their body to get readjusted. But that's the only long-term effect, is just that longer recovery process.
Okay, here we go.
I was curious if somebody,
Do they screen for like Brightstone, Yaakov, and hepatitis B and stuff like that?
Yes. Do they screen for illnesses and diseases? Yes, we do. Here's the beautiful part about donation. If you are HIV positive, you can donate your organs to someone else who is HIV positive because that HIV positive person might need your organs to save their life. So there is testing that is done. There are certain illnesses that would be a rollout. It all depends on what the medical screeners are finding at the time. But there is no illness that we say no to. We let the medical professionals determine that at the time of donation. Great question.
Hi, Tina, thanks for speaking to us. So here's my question. Say I need a heart transplant. I live in Nevada. I need it bad. The heart becomes available in Nevada. And I have to go down to UCLA. Now, am I on the UCLA list?
Yes, yes, you are.
So because I'm a Nevadan and it was done through Nevada, I go on the California list.
Correct.
That's a severe negative.
It absolutely is.
So
Absolutely.
we gotta get a transplant center.
Yes, we do.
And
Wait, are you gonna help fund it? How big is your wallet? Can you bring it here tomorrow?
My question is, how much does it cost to bring the transplant center here?
The initial startup cost is $35 million. We are close. That's what I'm saying. Within the next 2 years, we will start doing more than just kidneys. We will start doing the liver and pancreas. We're getting there. I don't know the exact number because they've been doing things behind the scenes and making this happen, especially at the state level, getting those multi-million-dollar grant fundings.
Bob, you're the last one.
Last one. Is there an age limit? I mean, as a donor? Oh,
For organ donation, there is no age limit. There is age restrictions when it comes to tissue donation, but that also does vary depending on the type of tissue and the type of processors that we are working with. So we tell everybody there is no age limit and there's no age restrictions. So as long as you are 6 pounds and more, you're an eligible donor.
One question to follow up on that one. Is there a age restriction on a recipient? No.
There is no age. The question is there an age recipient age restriction for a recipient? No, there is not. It just depends on if you are medically stable to receive that transplant. Great question.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a great topic, interesting presentation. I'd like to present to you our Soul Power Award, which represents a pair of shoes to a needy child in your name. I also like to give you a copy of our centennial, which is published.
Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Vegas Nights. Up here. Pictures. Meeting adjourned. Next week is our last one.